रहा है यार।
Toastmaster Akshay, Toastmaster Richa.
Chetna, I am here.
Yes, sir. Yes. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to International. Yes. Welcome to International Speech Contest of SDMCET Toastmasters Club. Without any delay, I would like to start the contest. We have two speakers for today, that is Toastmaster Rachit and Toastmaster Somuk. And for these two speakers, there will be two evaluators evaluating their speeches. That is, the evaluators are Toastmaster Richa from MCC Toastmasters Club and Toastmaster Parvati sir. I would like to welcome the first speaker, Toastmaster Rachit, on the stage, and his speech title is How to Manage Stress. Toastmaster Rachit, the stage is yours.
Stress. What is stress? To answer the question in very plain words, it's emotional pain, or let's say a lot of emotional damage, how kids in this generation put it. Now, why are we so much affected by stress? Now, come to think of it, I was wondering what I will speak in today's contest. I asked my friend Chetna, hey Chetna, suggest me some ideas. What should I talk about? She said, Rachit, I'm too tired. I'm too stressed because I have my music exam tomorrow. I was like, thank you so much for the topic. And then I started my research and writing the script. Why are we so much affected by the stress? And on this wonderful place called as the internet, I found the answer. To share the answer, we'll have to travel back in time. Say 10 years, 50, 100. No, we'll have to go back all the way back to 10,000 years when humans were not completely evolved from monkeys. You know, we used to live in forests. We didn't have stable shelter. We didn't know what was coming next for us. You know, what if it suddenly starts raining the place we live? What if we get attacked by a lion? They didn't have applications that suggested them that, hey, human, beware, there's a lion in 5 kilometers of radius around you. They didn't have that back then. The only time they got to know that they were being attacked by a lion is when the lion jumped on them. Those were bad days, yes. But they were always thinking in such a pattern. What if we leave our children at home and they get eaten by wild animals while we are at work? What if we don't find animals to eat? What if our children have to starve today? You see this pattern, what if followed by a negative thought? Yeah, we followed that pattern for a very long time, and that is why our mind is designed to focus more on the negatives and very little on the positives. Now that we know why stress is so difficult to manage, I'd like to give you two very easy tips that I follow to deal with my stress. Tip number one, Okay, it's a small exercise. It's a small exercise that every living being does. I do it, you do it, everyone does it subconsciously, and we need to do it to stay alive. Can anyone guess which exercise I'm talking about?
Sleeping.
Can you come again, Nayan?
Sleeping.
Not sleeping.
Breathing.
It's breathing, my friend, my dear friends. Sleeping is not an exercise. Yeah, breath work, or let's say meditation. Let's all do a small activity, okay? It will take just 5 seconds. Are you all ready to do it? Okay. Yes. Breathe in twice through your nose and exhale the breath through your mouth like this. Did you do it?
Yes.
Yes. Now, did you feel some amount of peace and relief? Obviously,
Yes.
it did, because I know it will. Now, imagine focusing on your breath work or meditating for at least 5 minutes a day. What an effect it can have on your mindset. How you can deal with stress by meditating at least for 5 minutes a day. Let me tell you the answer. You can deal with stress a lot better if you work on your breath. Tip number 2 is a very basic tip. It is just 2 words, that is start early. That's it. This is very basic advice, man. Everyone knows to start early. What's so special about this? Well, when Jeff Bezos was asked this question on how to manage stress, he said, stress comes from ignoring the things we should not be ignoring. Let me give you a small example from my own life. A month or so ago, I had 10 days remaining for my final exams. And I had so meticulously planned my daily schedule that I'll study 2 chapters a day, 1 subject in 5 days, and I will kill it this time in exams. I will score more than 80 marks in every exam. But what did I do? I ignored my studies. But I worked on the first day. I studied 1 chapter from 1 subject. That subject was called ITC. I studied that just 1 chapter. Well, the exams came, and the day before every other exam, I had this small thought. I have not studied even 1 chapter thoroughly. What if this question that I'm not studied, that comes in my exams, and what if I don't get good grades? This thought kept on entering my mind at least once every hour. But on the day before ITC exam, this thought never entered my mind because I had completely studied 1 chapter, and I knew that if I studied just 1 more chapter, I can easily pass the subject. And because I started early, because I did so less back then, I was so much more confident the day before the exam, and I managed to study 3.5 chapters and managed to score 68 marks in it, which is a quite good marks, quite good score in engineering. So dear friends, starting early, this is an effect that starting early can have on you. I decided to give just these 2 tips. You might say just 2 tips, Rachit. Doesn't look so good. But trust me, dear friends, you follow these 2 tips every day of your life, and I can promise you it will change your life. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Rachit, for your wonderful speech. Now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sumuk for a speech on virtual stage. The speech title of Toastmaster Sumuk is Unconditional Love.
Hello, everyone. I would like to take you back to a moment from my past, an incident from when I was in school. I came back home. I was disheartened, unhappy. I had a terrible day at school because I had messed up with my final year exams. So I came back home directly. I went straight to my bedroom and lied down and I was crying. I had tears in my eyes. Then suddenly, I felt as if somebody was pulling my blanket. I felt a tug. And I looked down and there was a little puppy up, a little puppy. He was barking as if he was trying to ask me, what happened, my dear? That was none other than my own pet dog. He barked continuously until I was sitting up straight and until I stopped crying. I feel blessed to be the recipient of such unconditional love. For almost 12 years, he was with us. I know many people who never had pets in their life. Many of them feel allergic even to the idea of having a pet in their house. When I meet such people, I always say, you cannot understand what it means to have a pet until you have one. So today, I will tell you how a pet can bring about a change in your life and why is it so important to have a pet. Firstly, unconditional love. I don't know if you guys agree, but our parents, siblings, spouse, they all expect something in exchange, something in return. You'll have different opinions, arguments, fights, and your equation with these people will change over time. But when it comes to pets, that's not the case. It will always remain the same. Once a pet accepts you as his owner, he wants nothing in return and just your attention. Dogs are a little more well known to give this unconditional love, whereas cats are a little fickle-minded, they say. But as a matter of fact, all they ask is for attention. And even if you do not give them attention, they will love you until their last. Secondly, having a pet is like having a special welcome. I'm sure if any of you own a pet in your house, you would know that you receive a warm VIP welcome. Pets get so excited. They get so excited and they're so happy to see you as if you are literally reborn. I still remember my short-heighted Pomeranian would try to jump so high and just to try to grab my attention when I come back home. They wait for us to return. They follow us everywhere, no matter what. I think you would have, I want to mention about this famous dog, Shep. Have you heard of him? Shep, who would follow his master everywhere. Even when the master died, he would follow the master to the coffin and then to the train station. And little did he know that the master will not return. But then that is the faithfulness of pets. Tragically, Shep was also killed by a passing train. Nevertheless, another reason to have a pet is that you'll never feel lonely. If you have a fight with your family members, you have a fight with your friends, or tomorrow if your boss says something and you feel unhappy, you feel that there's nobody by your side. But if you have a pet, he will always be by your side. He sits with you, he follows you, he goes with you wherever you go. In fact, as when I say emotional support, I still remember my pet dog, he would bark loudly at somebody who tries to be loud to me. If somebody is loud to me or somebody is speaking loudly to me, he would bark at him. It's just incredible the amount of love, support that an animal can bring to your life. If you are vulnerable or you have special needs, there are certain dog breeds that are perfect at providing emotional support, physical support. And especially in times of depression or anxiety, pets are a lifesaver. They give you a sense of purpose, a meaning to your life, and a reason to get out of bed when you're feeling depressed. Do you know that it has also been scientifically proven that an animal can greatly reduce your stress levels? You just pet your dog or cat for 15 minutes and the body will produce the good hormones, oxytocin, serotonin, prolactin. So these are good hormones that help your body. They reduce blood pressure. They reduce stress. And not only will you feel relaxed, but you will also have a bonding with your four-legged creature, with your four-legged friend. Once a day, twice a day, you take your dog out for a walk. Not only are you exercising, you also have an opportunity to connect with nature. Another famous story is of the Hachiko, the Japanese dog. You would have seen the movie as well. In 2009, a movie was scripted based on this true story. These are just a few of the many reasons for having a pet at your home. Love, faithfulness, companionship. These are a few that I have mentioned. In summary, owning a pet will change your life, bring so much joy, so much of love. They help us gain a sense of responsibility. And they give us the unconditional love when we need it the most. Dogs are a bit of high maintenance, I know, but then they also come with a lot of other benefits. Whereas cats, rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters are easier to look after. They need a bit of exercise, and in return, they give you your life a new meaning, a better purpose. Lastly, I would like to say that life is unpredictable. And if you miss out on experiencing the unconditional love from pets, then you are missing a major part of what you call as life. So adopt a pet, and if you cannot adopt, render volunteering services at pet care centers. This weekend, whenever you're free, go to a pet care center and volunteer your services. Believe me, you will feel rejuvenated the very next day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sumukh, for your wonderful speech. Now, I would like to request Toastmaster Nayan to present his timer report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetna. Toastmaster Rachit took 7 minutes 25 seconds, and Toastmaster Sumukh took 7 minutes 6 seconds.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nayan. Now, I would like to call upon the evaluators on stage. The first one will be Toastmaster Richa.
Before that, Chetna, just a moment. I think we'll need to give 1 minute time for the evaluators to make notes, and then we can call them for evaluation.
Yes.
Chetna, just a clarification.
Yes.
I have to time evaluations or not?
Yes. 2 to 3 minutes. You have
2 to 3 minutes. Okay.
Good evening, Toastmaster Watson. You joined just at the moment when both of us finished speaking.
We are at the end of 1 minute. So shall we start the evaluation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to put one of the evaluator in the breakout room, and only one evaluator will be presenting his or her report once. Yes. Toastmaster Richa will be presenting her evaluation report for Toastmaster Sumuk and Toastmaster Rachit's speech. I welcome Toastmaster Richa on stage.
Thank you so much, Chetna. Time was no need of timing because I would like to talk to both of the speakers and understand from their perspective as well. So if I'm not wrong, we are considering from the perspective of the contest. If I'm not wrong, yes. So now, basis of that, let's have a good discussion. Is what I would like to say. I will give my evaluation first, and then we can have the pointers. So coming to Rachit first. Rachit, let me point out to you the good points or the points which I liked in your speech. So coming to the first thing, you started off with a question. You made sure that the audience is listening to you, and you made sure to grab the attention of the audience, and you tried to involve the audience in your whole speech, which I would like to really commend because it's a great job done. It's a way of pulling the attention in the between of your speech, and yes, the audience is listening to you. So good job on asking questions in the middle of your speech and also in the beginning. Next, coming to your topic was well researched. You covered a lot of things in your speech about the topic, and you gave us an in-depth story of it. And you also connected with your personal story, like how you were stressed about your exams and how it went about. So great over there as well. The other thing that I liked was you had solutions and tips as well. You gave solutions and tips about your topic, that is stress. So that was done well. You had for the audience to take back what are the things they can do when you are in this similar situation that you faced. Coming to the timings, you covered the timings really well. That is 7 minutes 25 seconds. But from the perspective of the contest, it is very important that you finish a way prior. That is, something between 7:15 or 7:20, so that you do not overshoot the timings. Because now it's 7:25. So what if in between, there is a long pause or anything, then it will move up to more than 7 minutes 30 seconds, right? And of course, you do not want to be disqualified, right? So you make sure that you try to cover the speech maybe within seven minutes, and the other 30 seconds can be just your strong call to action, is what I feel. Right? This is because I don't want you to overtime your speech or anything like that, because now it's 7:25. But then what if in between you have long pauses or anything, right? Now coming to the other things where you can improve as a contestant is what I'm saying. Throughout your speech, I could see you were seeing here and there. Like, for example, I am like this. You are constantly looking here, here, here. Now, why I'm saying this is because when you're doing like this, even there is a distraction for the audience as well. So I would request you to maintain the eye contact with the audience and look just in the camera, so that they also feel connected. What you do is when you see like this, like this, like this, if you are disturbed, they will also feel disconnected. Maybe they will lose interest in your speech. So maintain eye contact with the audience. You will see how they are reacting. And from that reaction, you will also understand, yes, they are listening, right? Next, coming to, as your background was blur, I could not see your whole body language. Because of that blurriness, your hand gestures were, restricted. And I mean, it was not seen properly, even if you were trying to do it. So remove your background, because in the contest, anyways, you're supposed to move the background, right? So make sure that your background is clear and your body language is seen. So from that the perspective comes from camera angle as well. Place your camera angles in such a way that your whole body is seen, not just the upper part. I could just see the face. Right? At least try to cover your upper part so that your hand gestures are seen properly. And when you're moving, it's seen properly, right? So make sure of the camera angle as well. Next, coming to better lighting. Your lighting was not that great. So consider the lighting as well, because in contests, these are all the things which are very important when you contest, right? Because the judges will look into you, right? So better lighting is also very important. Next, coming to your speech itself. Now, let me ask you a question. The speech which you gave us today, do you really think the audience will be able to connect to that emotional level? Let me ask you that. You ponder upon it for a minute and tell me, do you think they'll be able to connect to that emotional level? Now, you were talking about stress. It is a very, very common topic, right? And it did not have that story which will hit a person in an audience. That yes, something different to take away. Audience or the judges, what they look into is what is something different that is standing out in your speech, hold together in a contest. So now I want you to reconsider your speech because you are going to the area level, right? Club level, it's fine, but area level, it demands more, right? Because it's a step higher. So what I would suggest is more than having a research-based speech, that is what is stress or that all, go with that one story in your life, personal life, or be it your friend's story, anything which has inspired you. Write down that story and see how it connects to the audience, how much they can connect to that emotional level. Because I have been contesting as well, and I know what they expect you to do. So rather than being a research base, have one that strong story to tell the audience and a strong call to action from that story. That yes, you should do this. Maybe it can be from a personal life, because see, you have been almost what, your age of 22, 23, I'm just guessing. You might have had so many incidences or experiences which will actually help you to write down a speech. I had, for example, given a speech on, let me tell you, in my contest was about my brother who was suffering from, as soon as he was born, he was suffering from, a lot of diseases, and he had no chance to live or survive. But then something miracle happened. Now that was the whole suspense in my story. When I started off, people thought that he's dead. He's dead. So have that suspense element as well in your story. What you do is start off with that suspense in the beginning, and then again come back to it and say, yes, you start off again with the suspense element, that this is the story. You know why? Because I'm saying is, people will be interested to listen to your whole speech then. When you keep the suspense element, they will be like, okay, now what? Now what? What is going to happen next? So as we watch a movie or a serials or read a TV show, we wait for that suspense, right? So that is what I would like to say. So these are my recommendations to you. So yes, that's it for your speech. For see, the basic things that are which I would like to say is the eye contact. These are the basic things you have to improve, and of course, story is important. So eye contact, don't keep the blur background, and your camera angle and lighting, very, very important. And of course, the story. Please think about it. Even if you're talking about, for example, you were talking about your exams, right? That you did not prepare well and what happened and thing. You can build a story on that as well. But build a story. Don't talk about stress. Rather, build a story. What did it teach you as a person? What lesson did you take from that? Right? So that will be an inspiration for the audience. Yes. That you told that, yes, then you scored so many marks. So that can be something. And then you got placed or something. I'm just giving an example, right? So look into it. If you want to get mentored, ask more than one person and you get an idea to it. It will help you a lot. So that's it for you, Rachit. And all the best to you for the area contest. Do send me the link. I would love to be there and listen to your speech. Yes. Coming to Sumuk, let me start off with your positives first. The very thing which I would like to commend on is you used your speech title in your speech, which I really like. It is very important that you utilize your speech title. Otherwise, there is no meaning of giving a speech title when a person announces that, yes, this is the speech title, unconditional love. But it is nowhere in the speech. Then what is the point of giving a speech title, right? So kudos to you on giving the speech title. You connected your story, that is your personal story of that you had bad exam and then you connected with the pet story. It was wonderfully done. I thought, how will you be transitioning that? The transition was good. I could see that connect. So good job done over there. Something very creative which was there in your speech was you used your background with respect to the speech, which is very creative, that you had pets in your background. So kudos to you on that. If you're going to use in the area level contest as well, you will just have to declare it as a prop. So make sure of it. Next, coming to your speech was also like you also had some research-based speech, like you had some inputs, like what if you have pets, how it is beneficial, how it leads to positivity, these hormones are done and everything. Good. It was a very well research speech. Next, coming to you had a very strong message again. How pets help and everything, which I really like. And coming to your timings, it was 7 minutes, 6 seconds. So you were well within time. So even if there are long pauses or anything, you will be able to cover it. But then I would recommend cover it within 7 minutes so that even your conclusion ends within the 30 seconds of buffer period. Now coming to the few of the areas you can work upon. First thing, please stand up and give the speech in an area contest. It is very important that your body language is seen, right? Because that is also one way of connecting, right, to the audience. And to be very honest, there are marks in the ballot for that as well. Let me tell you that, right? So your body language should be seen very properly, and your camera angle and your lighting as well. Again, which is very important. I would say same thing to you as well. Because as you were sitting, no, your hand gestures and everything was restricted. Your just one hand was moving. So, it is important that your whole body is seen, right? This is the one thing. Next, coming to, you can work on your voice modulation. For example, you had an incident, you were describing that when you came back, you were crying. It was in the same voice tone. Now, to make sure that that message reaches to the audience, have a voice modulation. When I came back, I was crying. Show that emotion. That is for both of you. Both of you all did not show any emotions. Emotions is very important. When you show that emotion, people connect more, right? So show that emotions, that yes, you are in that pain, that you are feeling that. And even in your voice modulation, that should be seen. Otherwise, what happens is, you're saying in that one monotonous note, no one is going to see the difference. What is he even saying? So when I came back, I was crying because I did not do my exams well. Show that. They will be able to connect much more better. Because even they would have gone through this. All the population has gone through this. It's not happened that, that not every exam goes well. There are even intelligent people who fail or have bad exams, right? So that is what, show that emotions. Next, coming to, as I was saying, when you were crying, you said that I was crying. You would have shown that I was crying. Show that. The whole stage is yours. So use it, is what I'm saying. Right now, coming to your speech, Sumuk, your speech was really good. You had personal story and you connected it with the pet. Now, once again, I would like to reconsider is that at a point, it felt like, yes, I'm being able to connect. But when it came to research base, it all got disconnected somewhere. And if you all know, the speech is supposed to be original in the area contest. You are not supposed to quote or have a research based speech, right? So it is supposed to be original. So for example, for you, Sumu, whatever story you had, that you had bad exams, right? Describe that incident more. What happened? And then what you did for the same. And how you were victorious at the end. And how did you overcome that? And then a strong call to action that you should do this, you should be prepared from before and whatever. I'm just giving you an example. So build that story, build that curiosity first when you're starting off. Okay, like if you're saying, yes, I had my bad exam, I did not know what to do. Now people will be thinking, what are you going to do? Have you just given up? Have you just failed? No, there is an inspiration story to that. That yes, you are here today standing with a much better job or, much better things in life. So that is how people will be connected, right? So think from that perspective and, write the whole speech again is what I would say. Build the suspense in the beginning. I'm saying both of you in the beginning. Now keep that suspense in the end. Open it up slowly. That yes, these were the things. Now connect that one line from the beginning and in the end and write it. See, you people might be thinking I'm giving same points, but the story depends on you all, how you all write it. Right. Most of the Toastmasters use the same tactic, but what happens is the story is important. How that hits different is important. So now it's on both of you all what story you all take. Because now, of course, you people have so many life incidents and we face something or the other every day. So yes, these are my recommendations to both of you all. Yes, of course, I want to be there in the area contest. So do send me the link. And all the best to each one of you. If you all need any help, reach out to me. Of course, I'll help you all out. And one suggestion to both of you all, go out to multiple people and ask their opinions. What is your opinion in this speech? And why am I saying this? When you get diverse opinions, it will help you a lot better to write the speech. Why? Because you will get a different perspective of all the audience. And then you will understand, okay, yes, this is what is audience expecting. So reach out to maybe 10 people, 20 people, that's up to you, but have a different perspective. You will get a lot of information. You just maybe give a brief about that. Yes, this is my speech. What is your perspective in it? For example, you can ask Srivatsan sir, and he will have a totally different perspective than mine. But then you have different perspectives and you can write accordingly to them. Right? So this is what I would like to say. That's it. I know it was a very long evaluation, but it's from the perspective of you people are contesting. So that is why. So all the best to both of you all, and let's do send me the link and I'll be there.
Thanks, Richa.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Richa, for your wonderful evaluation for both the speakers. Now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Vasudev Parvati sir on stage to present evaluation report for both the speakers.
Chetna, can you call up sir or something? I'm not sure what's happening.
Yes, I have called his. He's.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I have to now evaluate only one speaker or both speakers?
Both the speakers.
Both the speakers. Okay. So I start here with my evaluation of the first speaker. Okay. The topic chosen was a very important, contemporary, relevant topic. And the speaker started off very well with the right kind of emphasis, the right punch, which goes to show that he wanted to make an enthusiastic start, and he outlined his topic well. He said he's going to talk about something which has plagued humankind for a long time, which is indeed true. And he gave very good examples of how even during medieval or pre-medieval periods, prehistoric periods, people could have undergone stress because of so many reasons. So the construction of his speech was quite good and he developed it. But later on, when he came to the solutions, the entire thing went well, but just where he could improve was when it came to the solutions, he said he could think of only two different options, which is deep breath and starting early. There are several different ways of dealing with it that you practice some meditation, you have introspection of yourself as to what are you do your SWOT analysis, etc. There could have been so many other things which he could have told us. And what I felt was that the pace with which he spoke, he should have.
Sir, you're on mute.
So that is what, in conclusion, what I feel was the topic was really good and the development of the speech was good. But towards the end, when the conclusions or the final inferences were to be drawn, there we could have seen some improvement in his speech. That is the final analysis. Now about the second speaker. So Rachit, congratulations. You've done a good job, great job. And I'm very happy about it. You have had tons of improvement. The second speaker, Sumukh, he started off with a topic called unconditional love. And I was really, taken into a romantic mood. Let us see what is this love all about. And then he talked about the love for which pets have for humans and categorized. That was a nice surprise or twist, whatever you can say. So kudos Sumukh for that nice way of putting it. However, what I felt was the discussion in your speech. Now, this was a major speech for a speech contest, was narrowed down to very few points. That is, a pet, and especially, and that too, how a dog, that too, how it can, improve the mood of its master, or even maybe the physical health of its master. We could have probably taken other examples of unconditional love, like what other pets or other, even in some cases amongst humans, small kids, mothers loving their kids, etc. These kinds of examples, like if the title were to be justified, or otherwise the title could have been changed. This is what I felt is in about what the improvement could have been made in your speech. And the other aspect is that you could have given some, you did give example of your own pup, but then you could have given, and the examples, what we saw was there, but you could have given examples of other creatures also. That is what my thing is. It got restricted to that of a dog. So if it has to be improved, this could be one of the improvements. So in summary, an excellent idea being presented in a really wonderful way, started wonderfully and developed well, but it could have been more elaborated, made more what you can say, all-encompassing to convey the real idea or the real message that it was intended to convey. So thank you, and back to the table.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Parvati sir, for your wonderful evaluation for both the speakers. I would like to thank you for making time and giving us the evaluation report for both the speakers so that they can improve and they can present their speeches well constructed in the area contest. We are at the end of the contest, and I thank each and everyone for joining in today for the speech contest. I would like to thank especially Toastmaster Richard for joining us and making time for evaluation of both the speakers and also Parvati sir. And I would like to thank Toastmaster Nayan for being timer for today's contest.
Thank you so much.